from a trying to remember the term for it, but you're arguing disingenuously with that when you bring that up, because you're going to throw that at somebody who, even if they are arguing from an evangelical point of view, which I was raised evangelical, I'm obviously a little bit more intelligent than the average American when it comes to these issues, based on that, especially evangelicals, because a lot of them are just blue collar workers. They don't go past high school. They work in a regular field. But when you bring up XXY chromosome, or you bring up intersex, which accounts for, if I remember correctly, it's like 0.5% of the population. You throw what is a neurotypical or atypical chromosomal mutation at them, and you go, well, this exists, so therefore, gender is a spectrum. But it's not, because those are atypical mutations of genetics that happen. Even if, when we look at a population of 7 billion people in the world, when you look at that and you go, oh, this person has XXY chromosome, it's 3 to 5% of the population, well, therefore gender is a spectrum. Or this person's intersex, and that is, let me look up the numbers for you, a certain amount of the population that is abnormal because it's a mutation. Therefore, these people who have a mental illness and believe that they are, a female trapped in a male's body, they have a basis for that. But that's not true. That's never been true. And the only reason why we push for it now in today's society is because the left and the modern zeitgeist is to treat symptoms and not illness. So the big reason for that is because, and I'm not a very staunch conservative. I have conservative values, but I think Reagan was one of the worst presidents we ever had, and a big reason is that he shut down the sanitariums, which at the time, we understand why he did. They were very corrupt, but that has caused homelessness to skyrocket because people with mental illness are now out on the streets and they can't find help in, mental institutions. And it's also caused people who have mental illnesses to not be able to get the help that they need, because while we treat the symptom for, say, transsexuality, which is, hey, you feel like you're in a woman's body, you feel like you're a female in a man's body, so we're going to make you feel more that way so that you feel more accepted, instead of, having you go through, counseling or talking to a psychologist. We're just going to
if you think counseling and psychology is not involved in this process, then you are
It is, but it's not involved in
incorrect.
the way that you think it is. As I said, I work in this
It's
field. I
highly
talk to
involved.
plenty of
It's highly
psychologists.
involved.
No, it's not. You
It is
say it is,
highly
but in
involved. If you
reality,
think
what
that
ends up
psychology is
happening,
not highly involved in gender affirming care, then you are literally just lying.
it is not.
Yes, it
They
is very
say it is.
involved. You
So
cannot
you'll talk
you
to a
cannot just get
psychologist.
hormones that easily. You cannot just get
You'll
hormones
talk
just
to a
going to a
psychologist,
family
and
practice
basically what will
doctor.
happen, look, as somebody who actually works in the field, you talk to a psychologist, and what will happen is you'll be like, I feel like I'm a man in a woman's body. And they'll be like, well, why do you feel that way? And you'll explain to them, why you're having these mental
Well, if you're in the field,
illnesses,
you would
that's
know they
body
don't say, "Oh,
dysmorphia.
why do I feel like a man in a woman's body?" They would say there's feelings of society and disconnection from their body. They would not just come out and
Well,
say,
I'm
"Oh, I
trying to
am trans
break
right
it
away."
down.
It'll
Look,
be, and they
I'm not gonna go into like
usually,
the
hey, I just listened to you,
specifics,
yeah, for a long
because
time.
we got laymen here
If you
and
think you know,
laywomen
if you
who
think you know
don't
about trans people
look.
at
The
all,
average
you would know that
person
it presents as anxiety or
isn't gonna
depression first.
understand that, and you
It
know
it
that because
presents
you
as
talk
anxiety
to
or
them, right?
depression first before gender dysphoria. So someone would not come and just say, "Oh, I feel like a man right now." They'd say there's feelings of anxiety, there's feelings of disconnect, there's feelings of social isolation, there's other feelings where someone just feels like they're not at home in their own
There,
body.
there are
So there'd be treatments for things like anxiety and
there are
depression
plenty of
first,
mental illnesses
because they
that
roll out
also
a bunch of
have
different things before they
suicidal
go to gender
ideation
dysphoria right
and
away. I'm just
anxiety
saying,
in
like,
them.
you're using this
The
like appeal
big
to
thing.
authority when you're saying completely false things about the medical field.
No, I'm not saying they're completely false things. I'm saying I'm breaking it down for a layperson that's in the chat. I'm
No,
not
you're
going to go
breaking it
through
down in
like
a very
everything that they
fake
say.
way. That's not true. They
Oh, I'm
can't just
breaking
go
it
in and
down in a
get a
very fake
hormone.
way.
They can't
Like
just
you
go get
break
hormones
down
from a
the entire
doctor.
video you watched in a
Just
very
like
fake way.
you can't just go get ADHD pills from a doctor either. You can't just go get any type of
No, you
hormone
have to go and
therapy
take a test.
just
You
randomly.
have to go and take a test. You're correct. But I'm not
The
going to
idea
be
that
like,
someone just like says
oh,
willy-nilly, "Oh, I'm going to go get chemicals for fun," and there's no psychology involved or therapy or any other
okay, yes,
diagnoses
you
involved
are
is just
correct.
wrong.
There is obviously a lot more that goes into the psychological thing, but it is more likely that the doctor's just going to be like, so you probably feel like you have body dysmorphia. We're going to treat you with hormones. And that's what's going to end
Okay.
up breaking down. They're not going to try to,
The
they're not,
idea a doctor's
what?
going to go right to body dysmorphia is insane. The idea
Based
you
on
believe
based on
that
the
is
symptoms that the
completely.
person is presenting, yes. Based on the ooh, okay, based on the symptoms that the person is presenting, yes, they're going to be like, this person is showing signs of body dysmorphia. That is usually what happens. Yes, the psychologist sits with them in multiple sessions And those persons basically, as I was saying, because you wanted to get into the nitty gritty of it, because again, you want to
Yeah, it's a
misconstrue arguments.
complicated issue. It's a complicated issue.
Well, obviously,
Conservatives
yeah, but
win out of
you're
simplicity.
not gonna break down each complicated part when you have people in a chat. How many people are in your chat right now? Because I
I
can't
am
see
going to
it
break down
because I'm
complicated
currently on the
parts when you're
phone.
challenging complicated parts, especially when you're lying about it.
I'm not lying about it.
Because it's not exactly
I'm saying
okay.
exactly
So
what ends up
why do
happening in
okay
the
here I'll
conversation,
ask you
which
some
is
questions about it then. Why do scientists and psychologists view gender dysphoria as a physiological and psychologically sound diagnosis? Why does that exist?
why do they view it as that?
Yep. Why? What's the evidence that
Gender
backs up gender
dysphoria? I don't know.
dysphoria
Why
being
is
a
there like
thing? Yeah.
body dysmorphia as one of the
No, what are the
um
biological? What are the physiological? So physiological means your body, right? So what parts of the body have been analyzed in cases of gender dysphoria? What did they find so
it's,
far?
it's mainly the mind.
What about the mind?
Wait one moment. So if we're talking that, it's usually going to be testing, either MRI, CAT scan. They might do a like one-on-one session if it's a psychologist. Psychologists usually will sit with you and talk to you about it. And again, they're going to break down all the symptoms. And as I was saying, the symptoms are going to basically be the person saying, "I'm a man trapped in a woman's body," without saying, "I'm a man trapped in a woman's body."
Okay, so what are the actual symptoms and what part of the body, like what can they tell? Like I want you to say why. So for example, when I bring up different chromosomes and different ways people develop, like we have nipples, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have nipples because we share a common.
So you're going to bring up biological similarities between men and women because
Yeah,
men and
so
women both are derived from an XX chromosome before men split off to become an XY.
well, no, the point is we develop in a very similar fashion. So some men
Do
are
you know
very like
why
are
men
some
split
men
off from women as an XY versus an XX?
some
You
men
know
are
what the
very
hormonal change
skinny.
is?
So what I'm saying is like some men are very
Okay, just
skinny,
because
some men
some
are
men are
very
very
big.
skinny,
There's
just
different
because
levels
there's
of testosterone.
anatomical and physiological differences between all men doesn't mean that you're not a man just because you're very skinny.
No, no.
Or that
Okay, so
because
what I'm saying is if men can be intersex or not or like be what you consider to be what is typical, where men can have big muscles, small muscles, tall, short, they can have different characteristics. Some men have breasts, some men have lack of testosterone. There's a like me apparently to the chat. But like there's a bunch of different things
have
that
you
get
ever had
tossed
your
up in the
testosterone tested?
developmental process.
Just to break that up, have
The
you ever
point
had it
is where you
tested?
like so for actual
I'm
researchers
not
that
trying to
do
have
the
a
science
bit
for
here.
this, the researchers that do the science here, they could find that different body parts, like in your brain, different parts of your brain that are typically associated with men, can be found in trans people that would say, "Hey, I was born female, but now I
Those
now
studies are
identify as
very much
male."
biased towards them wanting to find that information, by the way. And you can find other studies. And a big problem is, and I've noticed this with streamers, for instance, I watch Tim Pool, not for the content, but just mainly to laugh at the doomerism that is Tim Pool. And he'll pull up meta studies, and meta studies are very inaccurate because it's basically somebody takes a meta study or takes a bunch of studies, looks through them all, and then derives their own opinion based off of the study. And then also, a lot of these studies that you're looking at, that they're saying, oh well, like this part of the brain, I can't remember. My main thing is I'm not in
Here's
mental
a
health
meta
that much.
study from 2016 from
Meta
neuroimaging
studies
studies.
are very
They
much an opinion.
found
It's basically reading an
they found
editorial based on the studies.
mosaic brain patterns in trans individuals. Features assigned
Meta
with
studies
aligned
are
with their assigned
basically
sex,
an
others with
editorial.
their identified gender. So there were some mosaic patterns. So when we look at brain differences, there were averages, not strict binaries.
Do
So
you have
many
this
men
study?
have more female parts of their brains. Many females have more male parts of their brains. The point is that the idea that there could be like gender dysphoria or like trans people in society biologically, I mean, there's more intersex people than trans people right now currently. Like, would you compute
Can
say
you
that's not true?
can you send me that study? I would like to see it. If you're going to be looking at what this study, I just want to see what it is. But like what I was saying is, I actually just opened up your chat, and this guy's saying that I think I'm a genius, but I'm obsessed with trans people. No, I'm debating the same thing that other people were debating in this debate, because that's the whole point of debating people. So anyways, here's the thing. Meta studies are basically an editorial derived from taking a bunch of studies, and then the writer of the meta study derives what they want from that study. And so it's basically an opinion piece based on studies. If you want to actually look at the studies, you have to go into the meta study, find the studies that were actually looked at, and then be able to see what the conclusions were from those studies themselves, not go into a meta study.
Okay, what is like? So, do you think like the American Medical Association is like captured by trans ideology?
Do I think the American Medical
Yeah.
Association is captured by trans ideology? No, I
Yeah.
think, and this is where my opinion differs, I think that American medicine, and along with a lot of Western medicine, has, as with everything else, this is why we had the opioid epidemic, got fallen into the trap of treating an illness, and treating an illness's symptoms with medication rather than treating it with, proper care, which for trans individuals, it would be continued psychological counseling. And
I mean,
instead
being
of saying,
trans is
yes,
not
you
an
are,
illness. It's not an illness, and
it is. It's an illness.
hormone.
It's gender dysphoria.
Being trans is
Mental
not an
illness.
illness.
It is a
Being
mental
trans is not an
illness.
illness. Being trans
You
is not
have
an
the
illness. It's not
opinion.
an illness.
You can keep saying it, but you have the opinion that it is not an illness. However, it is an illness. It is a mental illness, and it was classified as such in the DHM-5 until they removed it due to political reasons. It is a classified, gender dysphoria is a mental illness, the same as body dysmorphia, which is anorexia and bulimia, because it is your mind saying you are something else that you are not. Whether it be for anorexia and bulimia, you are fat or you are skinny when you are either skinny or fat, right? And then it is for gender dysphoria, it is I am a man in a woman's body, or I'm a woman in a man's body, or I'm a fucking cow in a
Do you
human
think?
body.
Oh, so you think that trans people say they are literally just like hiding inside? So you think like the whole thing where they think they're cows inside their bodies is true? Do you think people identify as cats in litter boxes?
I think that has another type of dysphoria. I think that is another mental issue. I don't think that's the same as trans people. I'm just using it as an example. Where
So do you
for
think
trans
like
people,
so I talk to a lot of trans people. So like for political reasons, do you think there's any like do you think it was for political reasons that we said being gay was not an illness anymore?
I think that yeah, it was, because if you look at Obama was
Was that a bad
anti-gay
change?
up and
Was it a
until
bad change? Was that a bad change that we made it not be a
I
mental illness to be
think
gay?
societally, yes, but the
Do you
only
think it
reason
is a
why
mental
is
illness
that
to be gay?
I don't think it's a mental illness. I think the
Then
problem
what is
with
it? It's not normal. It's not typical. What is it then if it's not a mental illness?
well, I think that being gay is way more typical than transsexuality.
Why is it not a mental illness then? Under the same definition, it should be mental illness as gender dysphoria, right?
Under
dysphoria.
under which
For the
definition?
same reason you would call gender dysphoria a mental illness, you'd call being gay a mental illness because it's not typical. It should not be supported by society, right?
I think that's a whataboutism that
No,
because
that's what
this
they
one
because
isn't a
that's
mental
what
illness,
people
the
like
other
you
one is a
said
mental
back when
illness.
being gay was not accepted. That's why I'm saying that.
Being gay. Okay,
You
so
cited
hold
them
on.
being atypical as a reason for it to be a mental illness, and for a
Yeah, but
reason
what's
it
the
should not be
percentage
accepted
of
and it's not real.
transsexuality?
The
Okay, what's the percentage
percentages
of
do not matter because the
transsexuality
percentages
versus
go
the
up. The
percentage of
percentages
yes,
go
it
up once
does.
it's legal and accepted. That's why people say, "Oh, there's so
I
many more
think the
trans people now."
percentages go up
It's
once
because it's
people get love
accepted.
bombed in
The
colleges,
percentages
but
of
that's
gay people being
that
able
is
to be
a
gay in public without being
anecdotal
killed
evidence.
went up as well. People started being gay when they were no longer killed in public for being gay. That did not
I mean,
mean
people weren't killed in public for being gay for a very long time before it was considered okay to be gay.
I would consider having no opportunity at a life or job or social life at all and being forced to the brink of suicide is the same, pretty much, like in society, for why you would not come out as being gay. And when the military, for example, says you cannot be gay or trans inside it, like there are very clear reasons why, like someone like you would have said being gay is a mental illness. It's not normal. It's atypical. And these people are just obviously not following their biological. Like,
I mean,
why
if
would
we
they?
really want to have the
No, but
conversation,
why? No,
yeah,
but isn't it a
I
mental
don't
illness?
think
No, no.
being
But
gay
do you,
is a totally
what's the point
normal
of having
thing,
sex?
and
No,
I think that
what
it's
is the
very
biological
much,
reason to have sex? What is the biological reason for sex?
to reproduce.
Okay, then why are so
And
gay
to
people have mental
actually,
gay
if you
people
want
have
the
mental
actual
illnesses then, right?
biological reasons for having sex, it's to reproduce and also to form a bond with the partner that you are having that relation with
Why
at
would
the
you want to
time.
form a bond with
Which is
them, right? Why do you want to form a bond with a
because
partner?
humans are naturally monogamous.
No, why would you want to form a bond with a partner though? Biologically.
I'm sorry, what?
Biologically,
because
why do
you're
you
going
want
to
to
be
form a
spending
bond? Why does
because
it
you're
feel
going to be
good?
spending time with that person for
Why
a
do
very long time.
why
And sex is a very
biologically?
key indicator of whether
Why
or
are
not
we
those people are
designed to
going to be
spend
getting
time with
along.
someone biologically, and why does it feel good to have sex biologically? What is the purpose of that?
To reproduce.
Exactly, to reproduce. So gay people, therefore, are have mental illnesses because they cannot follow their
I mean, yeah, they
what their
do, but I
biology.
guess they're just
Okay,
socially
yeah, there you
accepted. But
go.
the
So
difference between
you think gay people have a mental illness? I disagree.
sure, yeah, I
Yeah,
think
okay,
that
that's the
there's a
whole
lot of things
conversation.
that can be
You're
broken down
yeah.
as a mental illness. Yeah, you
Okay,
do you
I
think I'm going to
disagree.
feel
I don't
bad
think
because I
being
said
I don't
that?
think being gay is a mental illness. I don't think it should be
You don't think being gay
classified
is
as a mental
a
illness. Nope.
mental illness?
Nope, it's
Why
not an
don't you
illness
think being gay is a mental illness?
because some people are just gay.
I don't think that's how it works usually. No, I think it's a
Some people are
hormonal
just gay.
imbalance, the same as the other way.
You should just be a chill dude and stop saying gay people have mental illnesses. I know a lot of amazing gay people, and it's really pathetic
I
that
mean,
you
I
would want
think
to
that
shit on
that's
them.
just you coming at me personally about that. I
Yeah,
haven't
it
come at
is.
you
Because
yet.
if you think gay people are mentally ill, then I think you're a bad person. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's okay because I'm not a bad person.
Oh, who says so?
But because of my political views, you think I am, huh?
No. Saying
I'm
gay
not going to
people
treat
are
you
mentally
different
ill is
because
not a
you're
political
gay.
view. No.
I'm not
Okay.
going to
But
treat
you
you
think they're
different because
mentally
you're gay.
ill.
That's the
If you
difference
think they're
between
mentally ill,
you.
if you think you're mentally ill because you're gay or because you're like black, then I think you're a bad person.
Oh, I don't. Why are you bringing black people into this?
Because you probably, I mean,
Do you
you
want
just
me
think
to
people
say
have
I'm
mental
racist
illnesses if you
too? Is
disagree
that
with
what you
them.
want me to say?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's just really weird how you
What,
want
do
to
you want me to
tell
say I have
everyone you
one black
disagree with
friend? That's how
they
I
have
know I'm
mental
not
illnesses.
racist? Is that what you're trying to go for?
I mean, yeah,
See,
tell
you're
me,
attacking
wait,
me
how many black friends
personally
do you have?
now.
How many black friends do you have?
I actually don't know because there's a lot of people in the military that are of
That's
color.
really good.
So I'm
How
friends
many
with
gay
quite a
friends do you
few.
have?
Yeah. How many gay friends do I have? I actually
Yeah.
don't know because I don't talk to people about their sexual preferences. But
That's
that's not
really
what comes up when I
weird.
make friends.
Actually,
Why is that
if
weird?
if I have friends, they date. I
I
mean,
think
unless
it's
if you
really
just
weird
like,
that you talk
I
to a
mean,
lot of
people
people about
date.
their sexual preferences.
I don't. I just know people date. It's not about sex, it's about dating and hanging out with people. And just like you could tell sometimes if someone's
I
gay or
mean,
not
hey
based on who they
man,
think is
like
attractive.
if my bro goes, hey yo, dude, I'm going out with a dude, I'm like, yo, cool, get laid. Like, fuck
Okay,
that dude in
cool.
the
That's
ass.
awesome. That's awesome.
Like,
Cool. Oh,
I'm
that's
not gonna be like,
that.
oh my god, you have
Why?
a
Okay,
mental illness, get away from me.
wait. Well, you just said I think about that, but I'm talking about just like gay people having normal lives, and you think about a dude having sex in the ass. You're
Yeah,
the
I
one.
think,
You're projecting, bro. You're projecting on
I
me.
think it's more just
Heavy projection.
homoeroticism
Heavy
in the
projection. So
military.
you're thinking about gay sex all the time, apparently, right?
No, not really. No,
I wasn't
I
thinking
think
about
it's
gay
just,
sex. I was thinking about gay people. But I think,
oh my
okay.
god, you got me. You got me. Oh, I'm so fucking screwed
I'm just
now,
saying you are
man.
the person that brought up gay sex first in this
You're the
conversation.
person who brought up fucking gay people instead of keeping it on the trans people. So we're
Gay
just gonna have that
people can be
conversation.
gay people without having to think about anal sex. But you just think that everyone has mental
Again,
illnesses
you're
if you don't like
misconstruing my
them.
argument there, which is if my
I'm not
buddy told me he
misconstruing
was
anything.
going
You
out
think
and
they have
get
mental
date, I
illnesses.
was gonna be like,
So
go
okay,
ahead
so
and hit
here's
that dude in the ass.
okay.
But all right,
This is
no,
the issue though.
that was a misconstrued.
You're in conflict.
Let's actually have that conversation.
Let's just say this.
You
Okay,
misconstrued
really
my
quick,
argument because the moment
You're
I
in
said,
conflict.
yo, bro,
You're in
get
conflict with the
laid.
American. You're in conflict with the American Medical Association, the American Psychological Association, and Human Decency. And you think gay people have mental illnesses, and you think being gay just entails having anal sex. So yeah, you're not a good person.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And you know what?
And you're
There's
dumb.
down people out there that I'm super cool with, bro. You got
Okay,
a
I
problem with
think you're
that?
cool.
Like, you think that because
You can
somebody
be
has a
okay.
mental illness, I'm just gonna be like, hey, stay the fuck
No.
away from
But
me?
see, do you know how you
What,
think
treat
gay
it like the
people?
black
No.
plague?
But listen.
No, that's
This
exactly
is the
what
big
you're
thing.
saying. You're saying
Okay,
that
you
because
think
I
gay
said
people?
somebody has
No.
a
This is
mental
how it is. This is how it
illness.
is. This is how it is, though. I want to tell you the truth
No.
about how people view you.
Get your long
You
nose,
think
skinny body out of my fucking face real
look at
quick,
it, look at
and let's
this.
have this actual
Now be
conversation about
anti-Semitic.
how you like
Yes,
to
be
misconstrue
anti-Semitic.
conversation.
Be
How is
anti-Semitic.
that
Okay.
anti-Semitic to
So
say you got a
you
long nose?
think
You got
gay
a big ass nose.
people
wanna see
you
my nose?
think
It's fucking
you
huge,
think
dumbass.
you think gay people
Oh, he's
have
upset
mental
because
illnesses, but
he
you're
thinks
still
it's
nice to them,
anti-Semitic to
okay?
say
When
you
you
got
say
a
people
long
treat you
nose.
in a nice way, the reality is you're the one that has the mental illness and they're still being nice to you. So I hope that continues
How am
or
I?
you're going to be a
How
really
do I have
sad
a
guy.
mental?
Okay. Let me see here. Let me see. Who is qualified in policy? Well, yeah. No. Or social species. This is a liberal echo chamber. That is true. What a fallacy. Hey, brother. I'm just saying. I just decided at one point that we were gonna go down the rhetoric. You're gonna go down the. We're gonna. You can tell when I engaged in talking shit mode. After I got sick of debating. Let me see like got any donations. Ugh. If you want to call in, guaranteed, donate to Jolah Politics. Thank you so much, Terry, for $10 on Venmo. Thank you so much for the donation. That's so kind of you. Thank you. Thank you, Terry Ellie. Thank you to the last caller. I know we had a breakup, a bad breakup, but I do appreciate the donation to come on the stream. And I do hope that you have a good time and a safe time in the military. Okay. 11 o'clock. $100 to kick. I might go to bed, guys. I've been streaming for 3.5 hours. I think I might save up energy for tomorrow's stream. It's Saturday tomorrow. Ugh, Saturday streams are usually good, so I want to be able to rest up and have a good stream tomorrow. I started early today, so if you want to keep chatting, I'll hop in. Oh, there's no one talking in Discord. Well, someone go start a Discord conversation if anyone is bored. Thank you, Cam. You know, Cam, I agree with you. Cam said, can we get away from the manufactured outrage topics and deal with the actual issues like cutting FEMA and Medicaid? How about we do that tomorrow? We could do a full Medicaid. We'll do a full stream focusing on actual problems tomorrow. We'll ban topics. We'll ban culture war topics tomorrow, okay? And focus on the real issues. Vandred, thank you for 24 cents on TikTok. I just saw that. Good point. Good point, Cam. Great point by Cam. Go to sleep. Thank you. Call in tomorrow. You can call in tomorrow. No, okay, so I got a lot of callers. Okay, I got a lot of people calling. I have 2,000 voicemails, okay? So if you want to call into the show, that's why I say if you want to jump ahead of the line, if you want to call in guaranteed, first off, Discord increases your chances, okay? But then you can donate $10 with your phone number and your first name. Not right now, I'm going to bed now, but typically you can donate $10 with your first name and your phone number, and I'll call you first. $10, first name, phone number, you'll jump ahead of the line. You'll be next up caller for future reference, okay? All my Discord links are in my channel descriptions, okay? So please come join Discord and hang out with us. Hopefully some people will be in there talking at some point. Usually it picks up sometimes. I don't know. It really depends on the night. But yeah, everyone join Discord. You are a joke. All of my videos have a Discord link. You can join there. All of my streams in the descriptions, okay? All of the descriptions, my descriptions on streams, my descriptions on videos, all have my Discord link. Okay, join Discord. Okay. Have a good night, guys. I'll take more calls tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe, donate to Jolah Politics, channel memberships. Thank you. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you, Kate. Thank you. No hate. Oh well, just call tomorrow, brother. Just call tomorrow. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay. You're mad at me for talking over someone? Crap. I mean, brother. You realize I listen to him, like I literally, you need to grow up mentally. Like you are really childish. I listened to that guy yap for like 10 minutes about bullshit in a boring way. My viewership cut in half. And I spoke for probably 10 seconds. I spoke for 10 seconds. And he interrupted me. Like, open your eyes and your ears, brother. All right, good night, guys. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Lori. That's nice. Oh, no, you had to see the beginning then. Yeah, the beginning, like, yeah. There's a reason I don't do that in conversations, okay? I don't do that in conversations if it's not justified, okay? If you look at me have any other conversation, I'm very chill in those conversations, okay? Thank you, guys. Thank you. See you tomorrow. See you in Discord. Join Discord.